Hello. So this is the Chapter 2, Section 1 review PowerPoints. There will be 3 of these total, going over just the 3 questions from the quiz as just a review, and then you'll do a retake quiz tomorrow. So this is the first question. It says graph f of x is equal to x squared plus 3x minus 1 by using a table. I specifically stated you did not need to actually graph it as long as the table was correct. How you build the table is very important. The first thing that you want to do, so step 1, is to find what I like to call the middle x. It's the x value of your vertex, though. And that can be found by the formula x is equal to negative b divided by 2a, where you have a, b, and c given to you in the equation. So for us, x is going to be equal to a negative 3 divided by 2 times 1, which is negative 3 halves. From here, you can start to build your t-chart. So we have x. Now again, the negative 3 halves is the middle x. So negative 3 halves is our middle number. Then you need 4 additional numbers. So step 2 is the t-chart. So you need 4 additional numbers. Now, negative 3 halves is the same thing as negative 1.5. Please remember that you want numbers that are close to negative 1.5. You can go exactly 1 over. You do not have to have fractions, so you can go ahead and pick the nearest set of whole numbers. So negative 2, negative 3, and negative 1, 0 could work. You could also do 0 and negative 3, and then 1 and negative 4. So there's a couple of different options, but you really need to be close to negative 1.5. The further you are away, the less likely you're going to be able to actually use the points for graphing purposes. So please remember that they do need to be very close to that middle x, which in this case is negative 3 halves. From here, go ahead and plug in that middle one in order to find the matching y value. So you're going to get negative 3 halves squared plus 3 times negative 3 halves minus 1. That is 9/4 minus 3 9/2 minus 1. And then you can change for common denominators. So the 9/4 stays. You multiply 9/2 by 2 over 2 to get 18 over 4. And then negative 1 becomes 4 over 4. This will proceed to give us negative 13/4. Next, plug in the remaining 4 numbers. Now, if you've set this up correctly, like I said, with the x that we get from negative b over 2a in the middle, you'll have perfect symmetry. So when you plug in 0, you'll get 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 1, so negative 1. 0 and negative 3 are the same distance from negative 1.5, so they will have the same y values. Plug in negative 1 squared, plus 3 times negative 1 minus 1 is 1 minus 3 minus 1, which is negative 3. And again, negative 2 should have the same y value. Now, the negative 1, negative 3, negative 3, and negative 1 can be slightly different if you chose other nearby points, but they should be very, very close. In order to get full credit on a question like this, your t-chart would need to be very similar, if not identical, to mine. Also, if you do not have the middle portion correct, there is no way to get full credit, because your graph will not be considered accurate to what it needs to be, because the first thing you're going to graph is that middle point, since it's the vertex. Then you would graph the axis of symmetry, and as a reminder, that would be x is equal to negative b over 2a, and that's a vertical line, dashed, I should say, going through the vertex. Okay, that's the end of this review video. And again, step 1 is x of the vertex, so x is equal to negative b over 2a. Then you build your t-chart, then you plug in the middle x, proceed to get 4 additional values by picking ones close to that middle x of negative 3 halves or whatever other number it may be. Then you plug in all of your points to produce the y values that go with them. Given that this does say graph, your last and final would be to actually make the graph itself. But again, in this case, I'm just looking for the correct t-chart.